got Mr. Dror showing Foretell.
Try something unique. Can you hear me? Yeah? Cool. So a little bit about myself. I'm Dror, GM of Foretell Reality. Been with the Glimpse Group since 2019, actually. So it is 4 years approaching, July 2019. Before that, I was with companies like Nokia, Samsung, Amazon. That was the switch for me to the startup. But I was exposed to virtual reality in 2015, actually, when I was at Samsung. I remember that I went to the Consumer Electronics Show. I was kind of mind blown by the tricks that virtual reality plays on our brain. I was even a little bit scared, but then I said, oh, okay, maybe the evolution of visualization didn't start with virtual reality, right? I mean, I imagine the first people in a cave seeing a drove a cow on the wall and just freaked out. So I think that was the first time that someone played trick in someone's brain. But anyway, I started, being interested more and more in virtual reality. And I think that when I discussed with Liron back at the time to join Glimpse, there was one example that really hooked me, which is the ability to pass a ball between participants in a virtual world. And as much as it sounds very trivial, that clicked to me as the first time that I understood, oh, okay, that's the difference between 2D and 3D. And then I said, okay, there's something.
From stay closer on the right to the sign, so it gets you in the camera.
Since when I adhere to the rules. So what is Foretell Reality? And this picture, I think that for me tells something. It's about, our mission is to enhance human interaction through virtual reality. So we define this mission, and it sounds maybe simple, but it's not that simple, because technology usually is connected to disconnecting people from each other, although it's not completely true. I remember when I worked at Nokia, the slogan Nokia connecting people really resonated with me, and this is what we try to do in Foretell Reality. So what are the mission, according to this mission, what are the main use cases that we try to address, okay? The main buckets are three: therapy and support, the other one experiential learning, and we have soft skills training. Each of them is about the interaction between people. It's less around the objects that are part of this engagement. It doesn't mean that it is not there, but we really want to focus on how that enhances human interaction. Around these, use cases, we have a bunch of clients. We can categorize these clients per each of the use cases, but many of them are actually overlap, right? I mean, therapy and support is not only about the group discussion or the opening up in front of others, it's also acquiring soft skills to deal with, real life situations, to be less reactive and more dynamic in the way that you treat stuff. And according to that, we have few design principles. This is not a conclusive list by no means, but we try to solve real life problems, right? It's not, with all respects to games and so forth, which is great, we try to anchor ourselves in the problems that businesses face when they deal with human interaction. We also try to understand the value that we're adding into practices that are non-VR primarily. What it means is, we don't think that virtual reality invents the practice. Virtual reality can take it to the next stage, okay? We encourage users to engage in and benefit from social activity. We are B2B focused, we are not B2C focused, and this is important. And then we allow a lot of tools for moderators to lead these sessions. This is an interesting comparison table. I'm not going to go one by one, but you can see all kinds of features and capabilities that do not exist in other forms of meeting together, whether it is the virtual ultimate of video conferencing, or whether it is even an in-person discussion, whether it is the true anonymity, whether it is physical activity in all kinds of engagement that are not easy to replicate in real life. Obviously, when you digitize experiences, you can start measuring things. You can put things into metrics, right? I mean, how much I talked to each other, how much I looked and people, in their eyes, and then to also reflect and to learn from that. And you can see the slide by yourself. Let me show a quick video that gives a little bit of a taste of our environments, the avatars, but mostly the usages that we can do in the platform. And you can see also, the elements that we try to put here. So let me play that. Yeah.
Wait, were you like a character then?
It's a type of exposure to pictures and movies, 360. You're all familiar with that.
Hold their hands out into a T shape if you have the space. And stretch them up all the way very, very slowly.
Grounded?
I would say relax, make it look relaxed.
The playfulness.
See what they didn't show us.
Okay. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay, a couple of examples of use cases that we work on with clients that we can share the information about. This is a very recent project that we're doing actually in Israel with the Ministry of Education. What excites me there is in Foretell, in our platform, we bring together pupils, students, Muslims, Christians, Jews, all in one platform, learn together on all kinds of historical sites that have significance and different significance for each of the cultures. So the program was developed with a historian in Israel. It is a pilot that the Ministry of Education there is conducting. You see here in the picture, you see different characters. I don't know how many of you are familiar with names, but here, for example, Amalia, which is a Jewish name, you can see even the way that she dresses, right? It's not something very conservative. And at the same time, you have other characters that come from different culture, and they all examine the ruins of a place that is called Bechan in Israel. Maybe this will start in virtual reality. Definitely, I would love to have it in Foretell. This is a great use case that we are very proud of to be part of. Another example is we work with Yale Medical School on support group for cancer patients. This is a study that Dr. Marks, you see him on the right-hand side, has conducted using Foretell Reality, and the results are quite astonishing. For example, the participation went from almost 0% to over 70%. Just imagine all the hurdles that participants in support group in this condition have, whether it is logistical barriers to come to the place, whether it is the exposure for infection, and all of a sudden you don't need to expose yourself in front of a camera, but you can engage in these activities and the playfulness and open up. Of course, this session are moderated by social worker or by a clinician. Another example is more in the corporate world, the soft skills development. We have various corporate-like environments, like a boardroom and a couple of others, and then you practice role plays. Again, role play is not a new thing, but virtual reality brings it to the next level. One of the features that we really like that we have in our platform is the ability to record the session in 3 dimensions, and then you can see a hologram in front of you where you can reflect with others or with the guide in order to learn from that and to practice again. Alcoholic Anonymous, this is again not a new use case, but one of our clients, which we are again very proud to be part of the mission, they are trying to change the paradigm of treating alcohol use disorder. They're saying the current paradigms do not work. Paying 30,000, 40,000 and going for a month or two, disconnecting from your family, doesn't have good success rates. And they're saying, let's develop a program that you can treat alcohol use disorder from the comfort of your home without disconnecting from the family. And virtual reality is just one component of the very extensive protocols that they use. And it is so important for them because of the anonymity. Because they say, Alcoholic Anonymous, when you meet each other, you're not anonymous anymore. But in virtual reality, you can keep your anonymity all along. Immersive exposure, we saw a couple of examples before that, social activity and interpersonal connection, and wellness, as you could see in the video, is also something that can be used. The wellness is not just for the sake of meditation. It belongs to a field that is called recreational therapy, which means that you open up with your guides and with your mentors through some physical activity. So just imagine, not in the far future, I assume, you're going to be able to work the class, to wear the glasses, walk in the park, Central Park, for example, you're going to have your therapist next to you, and you're going to have discussion over a morning walk versus being glued in front of a camera or being glued to a couch. With all respect, I mean, I'm not saying that these therapies do not have value. Yeah, that's it.